Style over substance. Attitude is everything. Live on the edge and act in accordance with your code. These are the only rules that guide our future. A future inspired by the work of Hosan Gonzalez, bound by Mike Palmsmith's cyberpunk law, and defined by those willing to take a stand, those willing to fight. Now let's meet those willing few, the revolutionaries of the Mortal Code.
I'm Enzer, and I play a crazy old man named Tink, who is a techie, which means I fix up meat and metal. I'm addicted to explosives and
Drugs.
drugs. Yeah, can't forget about that. All right.
I'm Luna, and I play Netra, a netrunner / streamer who is a member of the Mortal Code. And I wear a headset that's outfitted with cameras that allows me to hack into tech as well as stream an encrypted POV video to the deep stream, which is actually the stream that you are watching right now. And you as a viewer can interact with our game tonight by typing your ideas in the chat. So if there's an NPC you want us to kill tonight, you just let us know in the chat, and we'll go blow them up.
It's our key to victory.
Oh. Good evening, everybody. I'm Radio Living. I play Astrea Magnetar, a nomad. I can drive most anything. I wear some strange things. Right now, we are driving. Well, you know where we are. You'll see. I don't know what weapons I have on me still, since I haven't used some of them. But yeah,
Something you might want to figure out. Are there any announcements that we have? This could very well be the last episode, or the second to last. I would bet that it's going to be close to the second to last. If there are no announcements, Mortal Code, then let's get into what could be the finale, or finale part 1, or finale
Part 1 of 3.
Yes. When last we left the punks of the Mortal Code, they had made it back into Robo City 16 via the use of the Horizon Gate, a portal connecting what seems to be nightmares from other worlds together. They emerged in the deep mechanical corridors of Battery Sigma, where the Source Throne rests, the nexus of power, information, and influence of Robo City 16. Their objective? Sit a special little girl by the name of Adina on the Source Throne to pacify the conflict between Robos and humans. Finally, Adina has been riding with the Mortal Code ever since they saved her from experimentation and captivity. A perfect fusion of machine and human make and mind, Adina was especially created for this one task. However, when the Code awoke from emerging from the Horizon Gate, Adina was gone, and the city was consumed in fire and destruction as the ultimate struggle between Kennedy's Robo forces and what is left of the Resistance rages throughout the city. The Mortal Code is the catalyst that can tip the balance. We pick up now as the Mortal Code rushes to Adina, already located on the Source Throne. The power to the city just came back on, and the Mortal Code's comms flared with updates of the battle as monitors all around them were displaying the death being wreaked throughout the city across both forces. But the momentum of the Robos was evident. Hakita's face, their ally turned enemy, appears across many of these monitors surrounding them as she laughs. As it echoes throughout each monitor and speaker in their vicinity. It ends with her smile as it fades from the screen. The stream of hails from your allies across the city must be answered, Mortal Code. The time for Phase 2 of your plan starts now, as you continue down the Zion Matrix-style tunnels of Battery Sigma. The battle above the city presses on. You see across many of the monitors, and just to to break it down into mechanics this way, the monitors are how you're getting many of the visual feeds of the battle. Although Netra, you're probably getting a stream of them as well in your virtual reality headset. You see the largest thing that draws your attention as you guys are continuing to press down the corridor, getting closer to Adina, across these monitors is shots of the top of a building. The top is on fire. Debris is falling. A massive cylinder sticks horizontally out of the flames, sparking with volatile energy. The mega beam that the Minister of Justice is controlling looks heavily damaged, but functional, and seems to be powering up for another shot. The satellite signal above the city, the satellite that you directed to take out the mega beam, reads recharging in blinking letters. Netra, on your feed. Fucking mega beams just don't die, man! Going straight for the Mr. Justice! Wish me luck! As you see, this is where we will pull out and actually go into the directed camera angles of the battle scene, away from the monitors. You see Winslor flying towards this large mega cannon as compartments along the sides of the mega cannon open up and stream seeking missiles at Winslor and his Long Swallow large flying mech. I would like Estrella, since you are the pilot of the group, you are the driver of the group, I would like you to roll for Winslor to dodge, to avoid, to outmaneuver these missiles streaming after him. Imagine an anime moment where the missiles are arcing, swirling, twisting as Winslor is doing his best to outmaneuver them and get closer towards the Minister of Justice. Give me just a D10 check and add 25.
27.
You rolled a 2?
Yep.
Man, that sucks. Okay. As you see the missiles get closer and closer to Winslor's flank, you see the boosters on his large mech back form stream out this jet fuel even faster as he starts spinning and takes a dive as he sort of shoulder spins in and around the remaining missiles heading after him as he's getting closer and closer to the machine. You hear the of his massive cannon on his arm as he's streaming forward, pulsing as fast as he humanly can. Some of the missiles are even exploding into the force of the jets behind him, and as the resonant leaves his large arm cannon, the Minister of Justice, you see, just get ripped from his pilot's chair as he gets dragged along the side of the mega cannon, gets destroyed. He rolled a 21 for his. But so you know, the extent to which you roll past or below the opposition's roll will be collateral damage to the city. As the Minister of Justice's form is sliding along, just due to the force and propulsion of the bullet, the massive round inside of him, streaking off layers of the mega beam, huge pieces of debris are falling, streaming down into the city. As you see the cameras, the monitors, as you're continuing to press forward, show people with nowhere to run as debris falls over them and energy even leaves the cannon, streaking down into the city, causing explosions below. A quick estimation would say about 10,000 people died, just from Winslor's maneuver and his tug of war with the Minister of Justice. The cannon is the mega beam is heavily damaged. It's unsure if it will work again, but it is still welling up power. Winslor wins that match. Actually, I should go, since we're doing it here. Bam. And then... So, Winslor manages to take out the Minister of Justice. The satellite beam is in the air, recharging. We'll put that on lower opacity.
Okay.
And the Mega Beam is on fire. We will also put that on lower opacity just to display its sort of wrecked nature.
I don't know at what point you want us to interject.
You were not interjecting here. You were merely assuming the roles of the different aspects of the city that you set in place last time. So to recap the entire map, this is Robo City 16. This is the city that they are fighting for. The purple and pink outlined characters are the members of the Resistance, or at least entities helping the Resistance as well. This is a barrier into the city of Titanus Robos, controlled by Hakita as she reinvigorated them and brought them from the ground. These are the Remnants of Dust, your sort of technomancers, the technomancer gang that you made friends with. This is Hacker Mom. This is Winslor's mom turned effective player in the Resistance, as she feels she needs to make up for a lot of her lost life. This is Winslor in Long Swallow, otherwise known as Tallgeese in Gundam, but in this universe, Long Swallow. Previously owned by Cassidy Ames, a mercenary for Robo City 16. Sai Zhang, the leader of the Resistance and the Resistance kids, the kids that you've met and taken on a few jobs with in the past. And the Wings of Liberty, also a relic that used to belong to the Machine, or Robo City 16, now on your side, carrying a proxy of the Machine inside of her head, as well as her own fully formed personality. So, this is where this is what we just handled over here. Next up, you hear Hakita's laugh one more time as the monitors show a large, it's a Gundam, it's straight up a Gundam, standing where the Wings of Liberty used to stand on this large pedestal, one knee on a raised platform as she's looking down at the destruction below, and she spots both of the armored units of the Remnants of Dust on either side of her. Netra, since you are the more technically proficient, I would like you to roll, and there are two members of the Remnants of Dust, I would like you to roll to face Hakita at advantage, and you can add 15.
Real quick, is
on
this
top of my tech plus interface?
No.
Oh.
is all of this happening like pretty much in the same combat round as what just happened with Long Swallow and Minister of Justice?
Yes, although just to add to the effect, as you press forward, each one is happening in a different sequence.
Gotcha.
I got a 22.
Sequentially, simultaneously.
Okay. You see, as you see on one side of Hakita, the quadruped connected to the wall, as one starts firing at her, just a spray of fire to get her attention. The other zigzags in from the opposite side, weaving in and out of alleys to defend themselves from Hakita's oncoming fire. A round from the one on top of the building strikes Hakita's heavily armored shoulder pauldron as she turns and boosts at the quadruped on top of the building. She leaps forward, and you see right before she attacks, the second one from the other side leaps over the position where she was just standing at her. But you can see this mini pulse leave from where Hakita just stood, and the Remnants of Dust quadruped that was weaving in between the buildings, leaping after her, powers down, slams into a building, rolls off, and impacts the ground as Hakita takes a large, pretty much picture a lightsaber, a sort of beam saber type thing, powers it on, and engages in a struggle with the other remnants of dust on top of the building. You guys rolled very similarly, but she rolled one above. So one of them is down. Next time you will not roll at advantage. That is the first phase, as you see her in a struggle between them both. The other one is one of the two remnants of dust is currently powered down right now. You now see across the monitors this view pressing through the clouds. It's hard to tell at what speed. It just seems like a view of clouds and potentially smoke. As the clouds disperse, you see the power systems are still turning on of the Wings of Liberty as she leapt into the air as she was powered down and is still sailing as her systems come back online. And you see one by one functions coming online as she flies straight into a collection of the Titanus Robos in front of Hakita and is fighting all three of them with her swords and every element available to her. As you see the beam stream down and decapitate one of the Robos. I want from Infini. I want. Who would roll this?
Infinite.
Yeah, Infini's on top of. Infini's not with you guys. He didn't go with you.
Oh,
He
I
stayed
think
with the Wings of Liberty.
it was confusing because you pointed at Rummy when you said infamy.
I have a headset on. Well, I can see him a little bit, but.
It just looked like it.
Oh, maybe I was just saying like Infini, like
Yeah.
Estrella's father. You know that Infini. From the Quasars, as the Wings of Liberty seems to be locked in this struggle, it still can't manage to get into the city, as the Wings of Liberty was also powered down when you hit the switch. So, for the Wings of Liberty, I would like, I guess, who wants to roll? Because one of you gets to roll and add 30.
What kind of roll?
Just a D10, a normal D10.
You feel
I'll add
lucky
30
tonight?
any day.
Huh? At advantage?
At advantage?
Yeah. It's at
No,
advantage,
not
right?
at-
Because I'm rolling?
Not at advantage.
Wow. Well,
Add it up.
32.
Okay. The Wings of Liberty, as one gets decapitated, a foot shoots out, kicks them away, as one strikes her from the back, as she turns around and jams the sword directly into in between their clavicle, down, separating their spine, and you can just see an explosion of sparks, but you also hear this as a nuclear explosion is about to go off from their nuclear drives being nicked, and the Wings of Liberty leaves the sword, pushes them out of the way, crouches down as her wings rise up, and she jumps as far as she can. As the explosion goes off, it catches her legs, and she spirals into the city. It's unclear what her status is,
First down?
but we'll say all the other three behind her.
Hakita's down too.
Oh god, okay, this is the easier way. And the remnants of dust, unclear what their status is as well.
They're tip top.
But, she's made it past the barrier.
I'm so sad that we weren't on video for that.
Switch it back.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought we were.
Switch it back to video so that they don't have to miss out on things like that.
I can't. We still have one more. Okay, so no, I'm sorry, we have two more. It now switches to you see views of a shadow passing over the outskirts of the city, the ghettos of the city, and you see on the outside of the shadow spikes, a silhouette of a large, floating, flying, spiked death grinder. And you hear across the comms, "Master calls," and you hear Winslow's mom say over the comms, "That can't be good. It's turning into the city!" And Netra, I would say you can give me... She has a breaker beetle, so give me an interface check and add 25. And what command would you like to give it? Oh, sorry. What you missed is me putting the headset back on my face, but like stretching it a bit far out, and then it slipping from my fingers and slapping me right in the face. Literally the only time it's happened, I think, on this stream, and was hidden from sight.
How much did you say to add to it?
25.
I should probably change this dice out.
So I got 45.
You got 45?
You said an interface check, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Not sorry. I'm old habit. It's an interface check for her, but it's just a
Oh.
D10 for you.
Wow.
God. 27.
Okay. And she just says, I can't. Whatever this Minister of Death has packing, it's hard to get through. As he got one before. As you just hear, as some of the boosters just start to explode and fall off. I managed to lower the speed, though, as best as I could. As the shadow that's passing over the city and getting closer and closer starts spilling fire from underneath it, coating the streets. You hear screams and yells echo across the streets as some of the monitors go as the raw damage has destroyed whatever is monitoring this area, as a good district has just been torched.
I'm gonna go get another mouse.
Another mouse?
Why? Clicky?
Alright, you're good.
Okay. Now for the next phase. Or not the next phase, sorry, the final portion of this phase. Sai and the kids that are infiltrating VR Corp to try and send a message to the entirety of Robo City 16, as VR Corp is responsible for every single headset and many forms of media that are deployed to indoctrinate the citizens. Let's see if they can send a message with... Okay, this is... wrong song? Since you sent 2, Sai is with them. You do not have to roll to get into the building. Sai and the kids took the time when the city was powered down to infiltrate the entirety of the building, and they now sit in the control room, although it is heavily protected with many intricate security systems to make sure that nobody can hack into it. So it's going to be a hell of a challenge. Hakita, go ahead. Not Hakita, jeez. Netra. You wish. Go ahead and give me another D10 roll and add another 25.
29.
Magnus, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can we switch back to our normal cams when we're not talking map stuff?
Yeah, of course. But hold on, I need to close this. But right now we are talking map stuff. We're getting through the phases of the. So that's how this is gonna work. If you think it could be done better, I'm all ears. But I figure as we're talking about what's happening across the city, it's best to get a bird's eye view of that. Okay. 29, you said?
Yes.
Okay. As Penta, the little girl that you've
You still got my knife?
the little girl that you have worked with in the past, has helped you a few times, is at the controls furiously typing in, furiously trying to get past. She too is wearing a net running suit and is submitting herself to this exercise of trying to hack into VR Corp's mainframe. You see her drop. Her headset smoking. Sai, you see the camera pivot as she's at the main doorway, the single corridor that leads into this room, and you hear gunshots firing and metal being sliced as Sai is holding off for the kids. And she goes, "What happened?" Gruff, the more rotund of the kids, is just yelling Penta's name. "God, she's down! She's down!" And that is the end of this phase.
What did my roll do? Fail for Penta?
Wait, I'm pressing shift and...
You need to be on.
Oh, you're right. Oh, we're back. Aha.
Where's Radcliffe?
I wonder how long we were back for.
Not very long.
Radcliffe was missing.
Oh. Is Tiptoes anywhere in town at all, or no? The Dasher.
You could try and get in contact with her if you want. But as you guys are pressing down, you see 100 meters or so before you make it to Adina's icon on the HUD, the gaming HUD that you guys have. Pressing forward through these misty, heavily tubed. I don't know if anybody's described anything like that before. Corridors, large, large in size. Drones flying back and forth, carrying different items. The monitors still displaying the chaos of the city outside, as you guys are here to take on the source.
Industrial.
You press into what seems to be a large chamber. Finally, the largest chamber that you've experienced, even in these large corridors. You see, you can tell that the size of the room has changed. It's so dark. It's a bit difficult to immediately tell, but you can tell due to the shift in perspective of visual and sound. You hear machinery winding, machine activity. Sparks you see off in the distance as something is being worked on. And high up above, many tens of feet, around 80 to 100 feet, you see a glowing Adina sitting with her eyes closed, pain or discomfort across her face as her closed eyes, her eyebrows twitch. Cables connected on many different portions outside of her. She sits on this jet black machine throne, and you see just beneath her flare in neon red light a V. K3N3-DY, as all of the letters come to life. Located just below Adina, you hear the shift and winding of machinery as a dome spins down and slams on top of Adina's seated position, showing the enlarged face of Kennedy, the fifth, as he's being constructed on his own massive throne. You can see the light still billowing out of Adina's form through grating in his face. Kennedy the Fifth online. As the speakers in the room announce, Mortal Code. Welcome. The girl is where she should be, and I ask that you listen. I am the new Kennedy. Kennedy the Fifth, created to rule. That one, alluding to Adina, is empathy made flesh, created to bridge the unbridgeable gap between your kind and ours. The world and our forms are ours, robos, to manipulate. Our shells hold an infinite sum of possibilities, yet our minds are limited by programs and codes that run them. There is no inspiration, only inevitable calculation, limiting factors. Your minds, however, carry unlimited potential, but your forms are weak and fragile, not meant to live beyond this rock. I submit to you this offer. Only once. We can walk hand in hand among the stars, but the flesh that touches will be of metal. And he projects through his eyes this star, this cloud of star expanse, billions upon billions of motes of light, and you can see one pinpoint at the bottom that says Earth Prime, as green lights are taking over the blue lights, almost like an expansion, sort of, is what he's displaying to you. We will be an alloy of metal and mind. And as you guys... Oh, a very important thing that you should... as you walk into this chamber, the very first thing that actually takes you into this chamber is an automated walkway with a few different pieces and parts on it. As the walkway is pulling you forward, you're getting closer and closer to Kennedy. As he's saying this, the walkway is going slowly, and around you, you can see a huge collection of monitors at the opening of this chamber. Monitors are still strewn about a good majority of this chamber, as on every side the lights have come on since Kennedy became operational. You see large platforms in front of you, all lower down to the ground, to reveal the sort of lower body of Kennedy as well. And so these monitors, as he says, we will be an alloy of metal and mind, flicker and display to you the chaos outside. Euthanize humans being the order of the day for the robos. And with her, your transition, our transition, will be flawless. The projector zooms of the starry scape into what seems to be even a random planet, where it's comprised of nothing but metal plates churning, with shining cities and uniformed citizens speeding through, their lives like a hive network of efficiency. The monitors around you again flicker, and you see, and even spark this time, and you see close-up images of Adina's face as her head is shaking, her teeth are showing at the corner of her lips. And behind Kennedy, you see further sparks and hear the noise of further construction. Mortal Code, will you submit yourselves to such a solution, such a frame? Will you submit humanity?
Nah. I mean, we're broke, but that's not how you fix it. We've seen what you do to a city. And that's breaking it even further. I think you're more broke than we are. And you have no idea how to fix humanity. I don't think you even care about humanity. Don't trust you. You need to die! And I'm I'm gonna grab 2 grenades.
Then you see Adina's reflection in the monitors around you as a smile creeps across her otherwise strained face. Then you will be crushed by the final page of humanity's story coming to a close. And lights turn on, spotlights in front of him as you see 2 tubes raise from the ground, one in front, one closer to you than the other. As they rotate open, you see a fully mechanized Sai, sporting her 4 arms, only she seems to be a bit more upgraded. And what comes out of her unmoving, but sort of lighting up to every syllable she says, mouth, "This machine kills mortals." And as the other tube rotates open, you see a Hakita, also in robo form, sporting sort of turrets arcing from her. She may be robo form, but they still saw fit to put her in a wheelchair, as she is fully mechanized as well. And she says,
Handy capable.
"Netra, you're a billion codes behind. So slow your fingers leave snail pus on every key. Come and get it." As the machines start winding in the room, this is where I will reveal the map. If you have any questions, they will hopefully be revealed with the map and further explanation of just how this is going to work.
I feel like a part of Netra has been through so much on this journey that she kind of just wants to take her headset off and lie down on the ground.
Gets to the finale.
Wow.
And we can end it
What
here.
a fight.
You can just hack yourself
I
into
said
oblivion.
a part of Netra. She's tired.
So hold on, Magnus. That. Nope, that's not it. This.
What a reveal!
Boom.
A lot going on there.
Yeah, one moment. The reason this is where the throne is that you see.
Don't you have a throne over there?
I do, but that's not what we're going to use here.
It's not cyberpunk enough.
Ooh, it's a different throne.
Entertain them. Be entertaining.
Would you like to see our dice
The system
collection?
is down.
Wait, show them this
The
one. It's
system
really
is
cool.
down. The system is down.
Look at this dice box. I think it's really cool.
Wow.
God, I would never hang out with you guys.
We're so cool.
Well, it's a shame that you're related to one of us. Sucker.
Really? You're just gonna put a Gundam on the throne?
Except picture Big Kennedy. You know, I didn't have anything else.
You didn't have an action figure of Kennedy?
I tried looking.
The actual
for it.
Kennedy?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
you didn't even show them. This one has a secret compartment. Ooh. For more dice.
Look at all the comments we've got from that. People love it.
Go. Okay.
That is the dice jail. That's where all the bad dice go. But clearly we have too many bad dice to fit in that box.
Okay. So, Akita is over here.
She's got
Sai
a dope
is over
wheelchair.
here. These are not quads. What they are, Tink. What's very well? Let's say, what is constructing Kennedy? He's not fully constructed yet. You see a countdown for 10 seconds. Flash, as in like he'll be done in 10 seconds, which really means like 3 and some change rounds for you guys before he comes online. So you don't know how useful he is. He's talking to you clearly, and Adina is pretty much in his cranium. You can see her through the vents of his mask, of his helmet, mechanized face, whatever you'd like to call it. These are the arms putting him together. If you somehow find a way to damage them or stop them or so on and so forth, you can prolong him coming online. As Adelon is in the room, also if you guys have your characters, your models, feel free to use them. As Adelon comes into the room, he points, he nudges the group and says, "You tanking what I'm tanking?" As he points to these power nodes, 4 of them, 2 on each side of the chamber, that are powering Kennedy. Adelon says, I would say it's actually reasonable to assume anybody who knows anything about like technology in this world is you see these power nodes pumping power and directly powering Kennedy on the throne. If you shut down those nodes, and there's also one on his chest, then his influence over Adina will no longer be an influence, if that makes sense.
I've already said too much.
No, so
let
sorry.
him say
This is
more.
I can't find like a narratively elegant way to. Oh, this is going to be Adina if ever it becomes appropriate.
So that's where she went.
What do you mean that's where she went? I literally took her for like 2
camera's
seconds.
not
Oh
on.
yeah.
What you-
Oh wait, Enzer, can you put on the?
Yeah.
This is Tank?
Oh, actually, I can do it.
This is
No, it's
the
done.
only old man I see.
6.
If
Haha.
you haven't read this comic, you should read it. It's called Saga.
So this is going to be Adelon. Get your pieces ready.
Here. Where's this one?
So Adelon, wait, didn't you have an Estrella?
That's not.
Yeah, she's upstairs though. Her like gun broke off, so I had to glue it back on. Glue it back on.
Seems like it could be you. Maybe. I don't
Also,
know.
remember you have Adelon's.
Oh, this guy dropped out. I'm not.
You have Adelon's ability to fly.
I'll be this girl.
He gave you his. He gave you his ride, pretty much. The backpack that extends.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with this.
That's gonna be you.
Wait, you have. Tank.
Oh, I'm already up there. Is that
Where
me?
are you?
Never mind. Well, I just saw 3 characters over there. Figured one of them is me, but this one can be me. I don't know what it is.
Jesus, what a mix. Nobody has their own personalized character here. It's all just. It's a mixture of grays and blues. Let's try and see if we can't.
That's why digital is the way to go.
Okay. So, actually, yeah. Let me just get this really quickly. So, as you pull out your grenades, I'm just going to display to recap sort of what this room is about. There are 4 large maintenance arms, as I said. If you want to prolong Kennedy's coming back online, those maintenance arms are what you want to target. You also have 10 seconds until he does fully come back online, as he's fully until he's fully constructed and becomes a player on the field. Robo Sai and Robo Hakita stand in your way, as well as a few different drones operating different tasks around the escape. And instead of the larger drones that you're used to, like the single units, imagine a collection of small drones that swarm and weave in and out of things. And I'll put them on the map soon enough. Kennedy has 5 power nodes that feed him power. Cut those, and his power to Adina is cut as well. I would, again, the reason I'm being so blunt about that is that it would be pretty clear throughout the looking at the room where the power is feeding
Like
into.
welling from.
Yes, exactly. Adelon also says, I can keep your solar robes up. Yeah, you'll have some exposed flesh, but what other options do we have? If we want to rush for something, I'll be attached to you if you need me. So he has his sequence glove that can pretty much bring your armor back to 20. But you'd have to use his turn to do that. And yeah, just understand that that is available to you because his glove has an immense amount of power in it. And also, the outside world is still happening. So there are going to be a few moments where we pull from where we are now to see what happens in the outside battle going on.
Okay.
So, with that, let's get into a little bit of combat music. Everybody roll initiative.
Solid.
Well, I put
19.
Hey.
Solid. We both
Roll
rolled
twins.
8s.
just remember, these are not quadrupeds. These are... Imagine this entire sort of area is machinery dedicated to building Kennedy. Adina, we'll say this is a series of drones. This is a series of drones.
Why'd you say Adina?
Not Adina. Hakita. Hakita, Netra, Tetra. This has been
Adelon.
the very...
Adina.
Exactly. There's a theme here, and that theme is we don't have a large diversity of naming systems. But I made this for a reason. I forgot that there's more to explain. So, your movement on this track is doubled. Going towards Kennedy. That arrow illustrates where the track is going. These brown platforms are what you saw go descend in the chamber. So they shift up and down. You can hear the machinery under each platform humming, as currently they're level, but they do have potential to change.
How are they descending? Is there any kind of sequence to it that's obvious?
You just saw one sequence which was down. So
All
you-
down at the same time, or
Yeah.
like down sequentially?
Sorry, down sequentially.
Okay.
Um,
And how high do they go up?
they go about 10 feet.
Okay.
Oh, not 10 feet, like 20 feet maybe. I forgot how vast this chamber is. They go high. They go very high.
Alright.
So you can consider or try to consider them as cover. Also, the power nodes, the power nodes closest to Kennedy, are higher. They are elevated higher than you can reach. So you either need an aerial vehicle or method, or raise one of the platforms to get to it, or hit it from a distance. You know, these are some of your options. So, what did you guys get for your initiative?
I got an 18.
I got a 16.
19.
Okay. You got a 19? Sorry, Netro, what'd you get?
18?
19. And you got
16.
16. Okay. Roll for Adelon. Do you want Adelon to have his own turns, or do you want to assign him to one of you? As in, do you want him to take his, like, have a turn in the order, and that's the turn that he'll be beholden to power up your shields? Or do you want to be like, you come with me, and then his turn will be connected to yours?
Why don't you take out all?
Sure. I'll go for Adelon.
And just to clarify, you're wearing your exoskeleton.
No, because it took so much damage that we powered back on the solar robes.
Okay.
Do we
Oh.
have our? I should have asked this before when we first made it through the portal, but do I have the buddy bots and the cloctopus thing? Do we have all of that stuff with
We'll
us?
say that you do. Yeah.
Cool.
Do we have like our casters and stuff?
Yeah, you have all of your weapons and accoutrements available to you. Yeah. No, you're naked, fighting a heavily armored machine. Okay, so initiative. Sorry, just writing down the initiative order. And the Vitalith only has 2 charges left, but he is around.
Damn. I showed 3 charges.
Okay.
Explain this.
I don't know what that is.
You see Sai, Robo Sai, immediately rush forward. She has what looks to be a machine gun built into her bottom left arm, about 4 different sharp blades on her top left arm, 4 different sharp blades on her right left arm, and a what seems to be a high caliber handgun in her bottom left arm. All of it is shiny, new, pristine metal. As she crouches down and pretty much as she jumps towards your entire group, she's going to, let's roll for this.
Malfunction.
She's gonna Hey, okay, so Estrella, first thing is she takes the high caliber gun and fires it at you. Go ahead and give me a reflex plus, dex plus evasion. Plus 1d10.
Am I able to, by chance, get those grenades out?
Oh, I'm
Because
sorry.
that would have been the first thing.
I'm
that I
sorry.
did.
No, you had your grenades open. Yeah. So you have your, I guess your surprise is up.
Are those squares, like 5 feet each?
Remember, whatever your movement is how many squares you can move.
And it's doubled when you're moving towards Kennedy.
Okay.
So you could effectively move 6 squares right now.
Yeah.
Can I just?
Is your movement only 3?
That's what it looks like. But in parentheses it says 9?
No, it's move times 3, so it's 9.
Oh.
I can move 9. I would have, especially if there's 2 grenades, 2 of them, I would have thrown one at Sai and Robo Sai and one at Robo Hakita.
Okay. Sai's going to use one of her reactions to pretty much backflip out of the way and shoot the grenade midair as it explodes where she was. But it'll put her back 10 feet. And her reaction is done. Hakita...
Die, Robo bitches!
You see the collection of small drones forming a barrier connecting in front of Hakita. As your grenade presses against it, go ahead and roll damage. is not a reaction. It's just her status. It's a good thing you're not wearing the
18.
suit, by the way. Okay. About half of the drones get destroyed by the blast as they shatter into small reflective pieces, even the barrier itself, as it's renewed only lightly as the leftover drones pick up the slack and stretch the portion of the barrier in a large vicinity in front of Akita. It was a full barrier, a full dome before. Now it's just a front-facing shield. So that was your move. Or is that what that was? Yeah. Anything else? Are you moving?
No.
Man, all those look the same, but
They do.
okay. So Adelon is the blue one. You're the hunched over tank, right?
Yeah. I didn't move up there, Remy.
Okay. So Sai is up again, and she is going to do the same thing as before. What'd you get on your evasion?
15 plus 8. 23.
Okay, she's going to take 2 attacks on you and 2 attacks on Adelon since she can't reach the back now. Since she used her reaction to backward. Yeah, she's rushing forward. She fires a high caliber round. I apologize. One more time, what did you say? I wasn't connecting it when I asked.
23, I think?
23.
15 plus 8, yeah.
Man, this is going to be interesting. Okay, you take and unfortunately, as you raise your defenses and try and get out of the way, you take 25 points of damage as the high caliber round rips into your your threads. So just take down 1 on your fully generated shields. So not down to 19, and then you take 5 points of damage to your overall health. And
Wait, what?
sorry, your armor is lowered by 1, and your health is lowered by 5.
Oh, 5.
I'm gonna try and simplify it like that by just saying armor lowered by 1, take down this amount of health. She's gonna go for her second attack as she fires the high caliber round, slides in between both of you. Left arm filled with blades just comes slicing down lightning fast. Go ahead and give me a brawling plus dex plus brawling plus 1d10.
A natural 10. So.
Oh wow.
1d4.
How do you want to block her attack? You'll take no damage.
Can I just use my rippers to just like grab the blade, or is it like a plasma blade or something?
It's hyper sharpened katanas with that you hear this small little hum on each one, this like vibrating.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna the blades on my hand can go dull, but they're just like chainsaw blades. They're just like
Okay, so we'll say that you sort of like duck down low, grab her forearm, and start ripping into her own forearm. You don't take any damage as she is paying attention to you. You see her arm, her left arm with the machine gun arc under her as she's just fires it into Adelon. You'll also roll.
Oh wow!
This is Adelon. Oh wow. Okay, this is her.
Cyber Psy is better. She stays awake.
Adelon throws up his solar robes as they take the majority of the damage, and he managed to take no damage from that as her right arm slashes down at him from behind her. That's for Adelon. That's for her. Oh. She slices into him and kicks him into the collection of monitors. He rolled a natural 1.
Ooh. Poor Eddie boy.
Okay, so... But that also means that... Wait. This is you. This way, I definitely got the distances mixed up. Or the sides mixed up. So next up is Hakita, followed by Estrella. Start thinking about what you want to do. And Hakita is going to... Netra, you see this stream of red slide down your own visor as Hakita is solely focused on you. She is just trying to turn you off right now. She's hacking directly into you. This is going to be an interface versus interface check. Go ahead and roll.
She's going down.
What'd you get? Natural one?
No, 26.
No.
With 5 points of luck.
You take 19 points of damage directly to your brain.
Can I take back my 5 points of luck?
No, unfortunately can't.
What? Directly to the brain, so past my armor and everything?
Directly to the brain.
And you said how many? 19?
19. As your system fries and judders your body through its electrical shocks, as she's just near melting the hardware on top of your head right now. And does she have anything else?
Doesn't hurt.
Told you, billion codes behind. No, that's her. So, Estrella, you're up. What do you want to do?
Guess if Sai is just right in front of me, I'm just gonna shoot you with a shotgun. Try and shoot her.
Okay. Go ahead and roll reflex plus marksman plus 1d10. She's gonna try and avoid it.
Where's my shit. So that is 27.
Go ahead and roll damage. She rolled a very low. So also, Estrella, Netra, and Tank and Adelon, you guys are all up pretty much at the same time. So if you want to try and combine turns or something, by all means. But
Okay.
Wow. 10.
10.
5d6. I got 10. Every dice rolled a 2.
Okay. You still have bonus action and movement if you want to move.
For a bonus action, I'm just gonna. Actually, I don't have any rope, do I? No, I don't know. That's it. I'm ending my turn. I'm just gonna.
Okay, remember, you still have your mobility backpack.
Yeah. I'm just. Yeah.
Okay. Netra, you're up, followed by Tank and Adelon.
I'd like to try and hack those arms.
Remember, you have to be within.
Can I send out
6
my
meters.
ghost?
Your ghost can, I think, only go 30 feet. Each one of these squares is 3 feet, so it would be 10 squares away, which you'd have to double that distance.
I move up forward with my ghost and get there in time.
I guess it would be.
My movement is 5, so I guess I can 10 squares.
Yeah, you'd be able to move 10 squares. Let me see. I'll try and find an appropriate. Oh, Remy, where'd you put all the?
Over there.
Over here.
The people are all in a tiny box. Ooh.
Tiny box. Yeah, we'll say this is your ghost. 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, man, these lines are messing me up. 1, 2, 3, 5. Gee, my brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you'd be able to hack. Oh no, you wouldn't because your ghost has to be within 6 meters. I will let you know that your ghost is pretty fragile, so just sending it out, there's a large chance it'll just get destroyed.
Then I'll try and hack Hakita.
With a
She's
ghost?
right there, right?
With a ghost?
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell that there is an RF dampener signal around her, so she's going to be a bit more difficult to hack. But
Can I send out my ghost and like have it like be? How can you stealth on this? My ghost will be running zigzag.
go ahead. Okay, go ahead and
And
roll
then-
because your ghost
No,
doesn't.
no,
Hard target.
I was
Your
thinking,
ghost doesn't.
Isn't
Your
it-
ghost doesn't need to abide by the rules of solid matter, so your ghost can literally like run under the platforms. So I would say
okay.
give me a Dex plus Stealth check, and we'll see how that goes.
Couldn't you just run on the ceiling like it's light?
It's like your ghost could.
Natural 10.
So we'll say that you call your ghost into being, and it just lowers into the ground, trying to be stealthy, as you're trying to conceal its existence. It lowers into the ground, and where would you like it within that radius where she's currently at?
I would just like it to be running below. And then
But where?
just like right there but underneath.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take a shot at her with the EMP caster.
Okay. Just because I don't want people to think I'm a moron, I'm allowing your distance to be doubled, but your ghost's distance wouldn't necessarily be able to be doubled on the rail because it's immaterial. So a tract moving forward, it's not like the friction of your non-existent ghost would be able to make it take use of that or take advantage of that. But it also thrusts the ethereal planes forward in between realities, so that's how this works. And I'm sorry, what would you like to do?
Shoot off an EMP caster at Hakita.
With your ghost doesn't have weapons. Your ghost can only hack things.
Yeah, can I shoot from my position?
Oh yeah, sure.
Basically, like, my ghost is stealthing underneath and trying to get closer, and probably by next time I'll be within range of the arms, is what I'm assuming.
Okay, so give me a Dex plus Reflex. 1, 2.
Dex plus reflex? You
Plus
mean
1d10.
reflex plus marksmanship?
I'm sorry. Yes, Reflex plus Marksmanship. I don't have the headset on to tell me everything.
Natural 10! 25.
Okay, her barrier of RF dampening drones and shield bearing drones dissipates. Well, look at you.
Yeah.
Next up, Tank.
I'd like to shoot my basically the same. Load up the EMP caster and shoot it at what's her name? Oh, what's her name?
Sai.
No.
Hakita.
Hakita, and make my way down the moving walkway.
Okay, Sai will get an attack of opportunity at you.
Oh, I'm just so good at dodging, you know.
He was a spry
You just give
old
it. You do
man.
an opposing Dex plus brawling against hers.
Can I shoot her once with the EMP caster and then move? Like shoot and go?
You have 3 rounds of
Yeah,
the
I
EMP
shoot
caster.
one round at Sai, maybe to help my chances of moving past her.
We'll say that when an EMP caster round lands, it's the equivalent of minusing their roll by 3.
Ooh. Okay. So, do I roll a d10 to hit?
Reflex plus marksmanship plus 1d10, yeah. And then she'll do...
Hey!
What'd you
get? 23.
Okay. She got a 25. So as you listen, as you intend to pass her, you load up your EMP caster and thump it as it connects underneath her armpit as she's raising her bladed arm to slice you as you're coming underneath her, and it releases its EMP round across her arm as it just falls down as you pass by her. Remember, she rolled a 25. You hit -3, so it's a 22. Her ability to dodge was lower than your.
Ooh.
So you just saved yourself by just as the blades just even like slice down across your body, but without any force. So you're just like, you know.
Great. Then I'd like to move down the moving walkway.
How many moves do you have?
I have 9. And I'm trying to basically.
Are you getting this close?
Yeah. And that's pretty much where I want to stay. I'm trying to line up me getting on that lowering and raising platform to my right.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd still like to shoot the other 2 EMP caster rounds at Hakita.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I don't have any markers for this. I'll be. Actually, maybe.
Can I just take a break?
We'll take a break after this round, but
Okay.
You can just pluck her right off the map. No need to mark.
Sorry. What are your intentions one more time?
Shoot Hakita with
With the 2 EMP rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it, and she'll roll to see if she dodges that, or just yeah.
One was a natural 1, but the other was a 21.
-3 from your roll next round, as the EMP round, still kind of experimental technology in the chamber, just releases, and so it's like, imagine that it's a compounding effect where it has to, like, you hit it once and you see the lights dim. You hit it a second time, the lights dim even farther. You hit it a third time and the lights go out. For you, the lights have dimmed. So you take away 3 from your roll as any roll to do with mechanical, electronic things
Next time I
for the
shoot it.
entirety of next round.
Okay.
But for her, she is going to -6 as you donk her right in the forehead as she
Hell
tries to
yeah.
dodge out of the way. And she's, again, they robo-cloned a non-physical person, so it's almost like she dodges into it. She rolled natural 1, so she's like, ugh! And then, so it's -6 to her. So it's the equivalent of getting 2, except you shocked yourself as well.
Great. Do I
Getting
roll
a little
for damage?
close, Si! Do you what?
Roll for damage?
No, these are no damage. These are just effect.
Oh.
Yeah, so your ice rounds are like take away armor. The EMP rounds take away
I wrote 4 d6 as damage. Okay, that can be the end of my turn. I just have one more question to clarify for next time. How high up? I know you said that the power nodes are out of range, but just how high? Like, do I have to climb up there, or?
I think I said about 20 feet is the higher one.
Like I could
The
shoot.
other one is you. The lower ones are you look to your left and right and they're there. let's say all the platforms are lowered right now. If a platform were to raise, if the platform that's in between you and that node would raise, it would obscure it.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm
And
good then.
that's exactly what happens.
Great.
So yeah, that's why I need markers to be able to tell you how high these platforms are. But good turn. Next up is Adelon is coming with you. He's gonna be with you, but he's gonna be a little bit behind. He can't affect your shield yet, but he's gonna hop. You guys got this, right? As he runs past Estrella and Netra. This collection of drones is going to tank. They're going to fire at you.
Ah!
If you want to dodge, roll a reflex plus dexterity plus 1d10. Otherwise, they're just going to hit. So it's either like any chance or none.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to dodge.
Dang.
Natural 10.
This dice has been good to us tonight. Thank you.
So,
Thank you, dice gods.
as it fires at you, they're not a heavily robustly connected network. The platform in front raises up and takes the majority of the fire, in which case many of the pistons start like they've been broken a little bit, and the platform shakes ever so slightly. But you managed to not take any damage.
Whoa. Can I, in my mind at least, think that I superbly dodged these?
Yes, you can. I have no power over that. I have no power here.
Tank has a grin on his face now. Note that down.
Note that shit down. And Kennedy is going to. You hear the winding of two miniguns underneath like on either side of his jaw.
Well, he's
On his
supposed to be
robotic
powered
form.
down.
His head is what he was talking with, and is powered on as they go.
It's okay, guys.
Again, we'll roll.
I'll be the shield.
You're a tank.
Mhm.
Right?
Okay. They're both at Netra, but since you're right in front of Netra, Estrella, they're both going to be after you.
Ah.
33 points of damage. So 14 to your health and minus your armor by 1. So you're at 18 armor, minus 14 from your health. And at the top of the round, the Kennedy's chest, in a similar fashion, I would say, Enzer, you as a player get like a oh from this as the chest starts to well with energy, just starts to glow. It seems like a slow roll. It seems like a slow collection of energy as all 5 of the nodes start to pulse and like push energy into the center of Kennedy's chest. To no effect right now, but it seems to just continually be collecting. Top of the round is Sai, and this is where thank you guys for your patience. We're gonna take a break. I have to go to the bathroom and also get markers. All the nades. So thank you guys for joining us thus far. We'll be back at 40 above the hour, wherever time frame you are at. Thank you for spending your valuable Thursday evening with us on this season semi-finale. Netra, take it away. Welcome back. Wait, wrong screen. Kind of.
What?
You'll see. Welcome back, Assassins. As at the top of the round, we will check in with the rest of Robo City 16. Kablam. So, who would you like to visit first? Sai and the Resistance, Kids, or Winslor and the Mega Beam, or Hacker Mom and the Minister of Death and his Death Grinder, or Hakita and the Remnants of Dust and the Wings of Liberty. Anybody?
I mean, can't we just go in the same order?
Winslor, as he's flying around the flaming peaks of Robo City 16, the massive Mega Beam seems to still be generating power while spilling some of it into the city, still causing destruction in the streets and buildings around it. What would you like Winslor to do in this moment? He seems to be the only entity in the Resistance able to do anything with the not fully anything with the Mega Beam.
So I know he beat the Minister of Justice last round.
Oh, that felt good, man. I'll tell you what.
His sole objective is to take over that Mega Beam and use it against the rest of the Robo forces, probably to support the Wings of Liberty in this instance. So, if possible, can we get that going?
Actually,
Yeah.
go ahead and for Winslor, Estrella, give me a D10 and add 20.
22. Same thing as last time.
Wow, twos all around.
Winslor seats, you see him sort of fly next to the pilot's chair that he shot vigorously the Minister of Justice out of, to a few, like, singular cheers below. He grabs onto the side with the mech of the Mega Beam, hops out, and gets into the pilot chair. And flames sort of explode next to him, streaking across his shoulder, but he manages to say, "It's almost up, man! Where do you want me to aim this, motherfucker? I don't know if it'll be successful, but I'll point it where I can."
Minister of Death.
Yeah.
Minister of Death or Hakita?
The original plan was to support the Wings of Liberty.
Okay, Hakita then.
Okay. So do you want him to go after the Titanus Robos or the Minister of Death or Hakita herself?
Sounds like you should... Never mind.
No, come on.
No, please.
It
Please.
sounds like you're saying Titanus.
The tight anus robos.
The tight,
robos.
the taint anus Robos.
Yes.
Sorry.
They transform into big sphincters.
Because the tight anus robos have nukes in them, I would say Hakita.
Go to Hakita.
Yep.
Isn't she just,
Assassination.
Wow.
she's in a mech too, though, isn't she?
She's in a mech too, as well.
Yeah, but we know that the other mechs have nuclear drives.
The gun just hits her in the back and the head first.
Donk. Oh. It just discharges into the Wings of Liberty.
Oh my
Whoa.
god. I mean, it is a little close, but that's fine.
Okay. So with the 22, the gun manages to move and judder and spark and shake as Winslor, you see flame is crossing all around him. This entire mechanism doesn't have much time before it explodes, and he is dedicating himself to this cause. It's not clear that it'll explode in the next few seconds. It's kind of ambiguous, but it's not in pristine condition. It doesn't just charge. The meter will take about another round to be able to fully well its energy. But yeah, Winslow has taken over the controls and seems to be moving it in Hakita's direction. Next up, I suppose, appropriately, Hakita, surrounded by just one remnants of dust.
Sorry, I think we skipped over the satellite beam.
The satellite beam is whoopsies, is recharging. Okay, that's satellite beam. I want you. Okay. Oh, that's why. There we go.
Can we just move the satellite beam then while it's recharging, or does it move or charge?
Satellite beam is still recharging. Still at some opacity, if you can't tell, 85%. It's not fully recharged. It might be next round, or it might take 2 rounds. It's unclear as to right now.
Does movement take up a turn though?
Oh no, it doesn't. You can reposition it over the city.
Can we reposition it near Wings of Liberty?
Yes.
Let's say
are you putting everything onto Hakita?
In between Wings of Liberty and Minister of Death.
This will be its like ladder. I don't know, like it's vertical positioning, not necessarily like I'm coming.
Okay.
So it is this distance high up in the atmosphere.
Right.
Okay. Yes, still recharging, not effective just yet. Okay, on to Hakita. Wings of Liberty is still down. Do you want to do Hakita first or Wings of Liberty?
Liberty.
Okay.
Give us liberty and death to Hakita.
So I want you to just give me a D10 plus 30.
Boy.
Actually, just let me know what you roll for a D10.
9.
Okay. Wings of Liberty immediately. Wings. Like, she has not been down for long. Her shoulder dragged into the buildings on the outskirts of the city, but immediately she grabs onto one, rips the glass down as her hand sort of bores into the buildings around her. Her wings flap. She stands back on 2 feet, her blade missing, having been taken by the nuclear destruction of the Titanus robos before her. She just has her grappling hook, Infamy potentially with the beam up top, and she is okay. Her entire turn was spent sort of reorienting herself. Where would you like to designate her ire into the city? She could help the dust if she wanted to.
Is it too crazy to try and get her to our location? Like, could we ping ourselves to her, since she was the one who pinged Adina to us?
I know exactly where the Source Throne is. If you need me there, I will come. Your friends will be in more danger, but you will be in less, potentially.
Sacrifices must be made.
Okay. The Wings of Liberty again. Her torn is spent reorienting herself, getting herself up, dusting herself off from dodging the explosion, and her next turn will be spent pressing in that direction.
I mean, are you able to tell us like how many turns estimated? 5, 10? Because basically, if it's too far out, then we would just be like,
in between 2 and 3, depending on how like.
Oh yeah.
Checks.
Right.
Depending
guys?
on the checks. Well, I'll say if like low checks, it could be 5, but high checks, it could in between 2 and 5, I would say.
I feel like what's going on in the throne room is probably the most important thing in the city.
And she starts sort of pushing her way to the canal that is the least occupied but
Oh.
the Minister of Death
Starts doing the backstroke.
is encroaching
It's only
on the
ankle high.
location.
I was kidding. Okay.
Okay. Next up, Hakita and Dust. This is
Can they cover? Can they cover Wings of Liberty?
Dust.
Well, sorry, Dust, not Hakita. Well, yeah, I mean Hakita.
Hakita is an enemy right now.
I'm kidding.
So Hakita, do you want the remnants of Dust to leave Hakita alone? The Technomancers?
No, attack Hakita. It's like they're setting up the pick basketball thing, right? You know what I'm talking
No,
None of us
nope,
would
you
know
just
that.
confused
Sport
me.
ball.
Just made this worse.
Yes, Dust to attack Hakita, so Hakita is not able to pursue Wings of Liberty, or at least as much as she would.
Okay.
And-
No longer at advantage. I would say Estrella. Since it was Netra last time who made this roll, Estrella make this roll for piloting the quadruped. The other quadruped is still out of action.
Driving?
Drive. No. Just roll a d10 and add 15.
23?
Okay. As Hakita was lunging after the what seems to be the last remaining remnants of Dust quadruped out of their entire sort of militia gang that they were operating, they clash in the air, and the quadruped wraps most of its limbs around Hakita's Gundam large mech form as they descend down into the alleys below, slamming into buildings the entire way. Hakita. Okay. The quadruped manages to navigate on top of Hakita as Hakita slams into the ground, and the second quadruped manages to web Hakita to the ground with its sort of like, you see it like sparking on the ground, having tried to make its way in. I made a few rolls and it seems to be alive, but just barely. Managing to, the second quadruped manages to spew a lot of webbing around Hakita, but Hakita just goes and manages to self-destruct that quadruped as there's a countdown for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 3 seconds per round. So it's in self-destruct mode, but Hakita is planted on the ground with the quadruped on top. You managed to roll higher than her this time, thankfully. Wings of Liberty going down the canal. Winslow pointing at Hakita. Now Resistance and Sai Zhang. Penta's not responsive. Gruff is attempting to re-hack. So I want you to roll another d10, Netra, at disadvantage, but still add 25, as they're still working with the Breaker Beetle. What was that?
29. I'm gonna add 1 point of luck. 30.
It's okay, Penta. I got you! How did this happen? Sai! I got him! I got it! We're in! As all the monitors across the board show the destruction behind Sai as she takes a few grenades, throws them behind her into the corridor. Explosions detonating behind her. She walks forward up to the camera. And she says to the entirety of the city, all of your headsets, virtual displays, cybernetic eyes, whatever they may be, everything around has made connection. This is the resistance. The ones who fight against oppression. Fight for you. And now we need you to fight with us. I'll be blunt. It doesn't look good out there. We're up against the ministries and all their fucking forces. and they aim to kill us all. But you know what? They just might this time. And that's why we need you. They expect you to be afraid, calculate it, and plan on it. But they've never had control over us. Only toys to keep us lazy and occupy our thoughts. But nothing is stopping you from standing up. Literally, take a stand. Now, grab a weapon and fight. Let your rage break through and fight with what... Hold on.
Sai
Sorry.
has asthma.
No,
And then get up.
I forgot that.
You forgot to breathe.
Let your rage break through and fight with it to the damned end. And we might be able to have a new beginning. Something for us all to share. As the monitors flicker off from her display and start showing buildings, streets, entrances. Vacant at first, save for marching forces of robos. And then you see a window break with a Molotov cocktail. Another window break with a brick slamming into the face of a robo as it turns. And then the entire streets swarming with individuals, humans with makeshift items of every single kind, faces worn, haven't seen the light of day for what could be years, haven't had a nutrient for what could be years. As they enter the streets and you see the charge of battle shift ever so slightly as the robo forces were not prepared for this. Next up, the Death Grinder and the Mom. What would you guys... she just goes, "It's getting closer to the city! I'll do my best to try again! What do you want? What do you want it to do? I can't get close enough to get a solid enough connection, but I might be able to control its boosters, some of its weapons." This is like a huge issue for the city.
Maybe if we control one of the boosters and cut out the left one, and then it's forced to turn right away from the city?
Okay, give me a check. She's also using a breaker beetle. I just a D10 and add 25.
Please. 35.
Got a 10, natural 10?
No, I added 3 points of luck.
Okay. As it's still streaming volatile flame into the streets, destroying every neighborhood it hovers above. It starts streaming egregious flame out of its back left booster. Oops! I didn't mean to do that. And it starts shifting left and arcing away from the city. And you hear over the comms. What you've noticed is that the Minister of Death doesn't give a fuck about who's listening. He's just pumping it to what seems to be everything with no encryption. "Someone's fucking with us. Find them. Kill them." And you just start to see this like spill of robo forces leave in jetpacks, descending from the Death Grinder into the city to search for Hacker Mom.
Can we tell Hacker Mom to take off her headset, like lay low?
I can't afford to do that. Everybody's fighting now. I might be able to get it farther from the city, farther from you.
Oh, I just meant like in between rounds.
Oh!
In between rounds, Hacker Mom!
So in between so she'll take it off for 2 seconds and put it back on for a second.
Hey,
And then
that's
she'll
2
take it.
seconds. That could save her life. I don't know.
Remember, folks, rounds in this game are not 6 seconds; they're 3.
forgot.
Hackers need breaks too.
Get inside! Under a sewer plate, something. Oh,
If
2
you want to
seconds,
take
that's
her
right.
offline, you
No,
can, but
it's
she can't
fine.
just like.
They'll probably just find her and murder her.
Okay.
Gloriously.
Bye, Mrs. Winslow.
I think we're back. Yes. Oh, okay. So let me point out the power nodes for everybody. Lower power nodes to Kennedy the Fifth. Higher power nodes Kennedy the Fifth. Central power node Kennedy. Okay. Top of the round is Sai. She's gonna take one swipe at you, with her katana. She's going to turn around and fire at. Oh, that's Adelon. Fire at Adelon. It's like, who the fuck?
He's gonna turn around and shoot.
Again, if roll a dex plus brawling plus 1d10.
There it is. There it is. 22.
Okay. Uh, 20 points of damage. So you take 2 minus your shield by 1. 2 to your health. Shield lowers by 1. As she turns her her second arm with the heavy pistol to Adelon and fires. Let's be Adelon. Let's be her. Oh wow, yeah. You just see a portion of Adelon's solar robes vibrate, highlight with light, and then just shatter as it passes through the fabric and into his flesh. He coughs up blood onto your back, Tink. And with her 2 other attacks, you can go ahead and take an opportunity attack. Estrella.
Huh?
She is leaving. She's rushing towards.
I guess I'll take one shot, I guess.
Go ahead and roll for it. Dexterity plus brawling plus 1d10.
Marking?
Do the si-
I'm shooting.
It's an opportunity attack, so it's gonna be brawling.
Okay, so I guess I'll use the Goku blade, I guess. So, man, you said brawling?
Mm-hmm.
That would be 19.
Nope. Just reaches one arm behind her, blocks your Goku blade, Goku katana. She's going to take her second katana arm attack at you, Tink. Make a dexterity plus brawling plus 1d10.
Gladly. Oh.
It's 11.
Oh, okay. Okay, Tink.
That's 2 1s though. You know, she's a robot. She should know.
Okay, 29 points of damage.
Speaking of God,
So 9 to your health and 1 to your armor. As she sprints down the catwalk and just gashes into your back, into your solar robes, slicing, and she's going to take the machine gun and shoot. Roll this. Oh, okay. She's gonna shoot you also with a machine gun.
who?
You don't mind that. Sai. Go ahead and roll a reflex plus dexterity plus 1d10.
For Adelon?
Sorry, reflex plus Evasion plus 1d10.
Because she's shooting Adeline?
No, she's shooting you. I roll for most of her arms.
Ah! Mr.
was a-
One
that
Nat
was a
Man
slim
strikes
7.
again!
A slim 7.
Otherwise known as a 1.
It's okay. You take 4 points of damage to your health and
Oh.
1 point of damage to your armor.
That's not bad at all.
What do you think you know my health, huh?
And that is her turn. Hakita's up. And she is going to...
How can you even read that?
It's hard.
Maybe you should use Adelon's special thing. Oh, also the fuzzy is gone from your mind.
Go ahead and roll a Netra, another interface versus her interface.
Fuck.
Natural 10. So 28.
Oh wow. You see her inputting a virus into your electrical systems that is entirely meant to not only is it meant to jump from one individual to another, it's meant to disrupt every single electrical capability that you have available to you. And you see the data stream through, and you easily block it off, consolidate it, push it back, rewrite the programs and systems that need to, just completely eliminating her influence over you. Everybody gets lucky once, I guess. And
Isolate and eradicate.
she is going to renew a portion of the drones around her as they just shoot from Kennedy's body. Boom, 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 boom. Just like exiting from these sort of like openings from his chest. There's another barrier up around her, and she's going to go to the back portion of the room. Next up, Estrella.
I guess I'm going to actually hold on. She's super far away now, isn't she?
She's much farther away, yes.
So I'm going to take a sniper rifle and shoot her with it. Try and shoot her with it at least once.
Okay.
Or you said, does she have a barrier up still, or?
She does. She just renewed her barrier.
Never mind, I'm gonna shoot Sai in the back then.
Okay,
With a
go
sniper.
for it.
Marksmanship. So 24.
Okay. She's going to use her reaction to... Actually, I'll try. Just gonna use the reaction. She tries to backflip out of the way, and you just shoot her in the back as she that's pretty much stays in place. Go ahead and roll damage.
6, 8.
Netra, you're up
14.
next, followed by Tank and Adeline.
16. Two.
Okay.
Magnus, can you take down the map, please?
Oh,
Wait, sorry. It is taken down. Never mind.
I don't know why that happened. There we go. Okay. Bonus action movement. As you see metal pieces fly from her fully mechanized back.
I guess I'm gonna put the sniper rifle away, pull out the shotgun again, and I'm gonna actually just start running up towards size or back again, basically.
All the way up next to her.
Not all the way up to her. I'm only gonna go about like 2/3 of the way to her, so she doesn't basically stay out of her reach. And then next turn, I'm just gonna jump towards her and fire.
Okay. Netra, you're up.
I'd like my ghost to run forward as far as she can again. Are you okay?
I didn't bring the markers.
Oh my god.
That's why I asked you before.
Got it. Gosh,
Maybe
damn
I
it.
have
Hold on.
some
I will get right
markers.
back. I know exactly where they are.
There's one on the floor next to
That
the...
doesn't matter to me. I need all of them.
I got some lotion.
Natural one in real life. Yes. Did
It's time for us to
an
entertain
intelligence saving throw or a history check or...
the masses again. Show them everything. Look at this cool box that we have. Look at that.
Ah. Ooh. You could put your dice in there.
Elderwood Academy. Sponsor us.
So,
Oh, he's back.
three is highest, 2 is second highest, 1 is level, 0 is lower than level. So this is raises to highest. This raises, sorry, the platform in between you.
You have to make it a
Tank.
lot bigger to be actually
Could
legible.
it just be like 3
mean,
pluses equals 3rd level, 2 pluses equals 1 level? And you can just erase and
So
draw.
tank, the platform in between you and the first power node raises in between you and the first power node. The second power node, the platform raises in between as well. So actually, don't pay attention to me, but every single turn now, these
Why is he
platforms
putting
raise.
W's? Yeah.
And 4.
Just drawing butts hanging out on the wall.
Horizontal.
Is he drawing W's? Is that what they see?
Vertical
Oh, that is what they
groups.
see. Oh, crap.
W's or butts.
W's. Orientation matters, doesn't it? Does it?
They're
No, I don't
butts.
think so.
Dead birds. No, they're definitely butts.
So these platforms raise.
Booties.
This platform lowers. And this platform raises as well.
Did that
Just
one the
consider
wrong
3's highs, 2's a little bit lower, 1's normal. Okay, so, sorry. Next up is Netra. What do you want to do? Your
I
ghost
want
is...
my ghost to run forward.
Okay.
And then once she does, I would also like to move forward so that I'm in range of my ghost. And then, is she in range of the arms?
Was it 10 squares? How many faces? How many squares?
I don't remember. I have 5 movement.
Yeah, I can move 30 feet. So 10 squares, 3 feet for 10. It's able to hack the arm.
Right.
One of the arms.
I would like to do so.
Okay. You manage to stifle it as it freezes in place with a shielding component in its hand, about to weld it onto the thigh of Kennedy. You have prolonged it for 1 second.
Oh. As a bonus action, can I move up to this front? As a bonus action,
Oh, yeah,
can
sorry.
I throw a cloctopus?
Well, where do you want to be?
As
10.
far as I can.
Up with the group?
Yeah, it's fine. Can I throw a cloctopus?
Yeah, so we'll say because you have like 6 interface actions, that can consolidate into, like, your ghost can do its full action, you have your own full action. So If you want to throw a Coloctopus, you can, but remember, it can only go... It goes like... What is it, like 10 feet per round or 9 feet per round or something like that?
I wrote that it goes 30 feet, up to 30 feet on the first throw, and then
Up to 30
after
feet
that it
total,
goes
and
out
it's
to
10
150. I wrote down that the radius can eventually go out to 150 feet. I don't know why or how that works, but that's just what I wrote down.
Okay, so 30 feet is where it'll wiggle up to.
Good.
Where do you want it? Power Node, Hakita's barrier, the drones, another arm of the arms putting Kennedy together. The
Does it wipe it
platform so you
out?
can freeze them.
Yeah, does it wipe it out completely, or does it just freeze it, like how I just froze the
It
arm?
pretty much freezes it. Most everything has a system to reboot themselves, so it's not like you're taking it out permanently.
I guess I'd like it to go like into this corner there, so that hopefully the radius gets the power nodes and possibly the arm.
So, you would be familiar growing up with this type of technology. These tubes. If you're trying to get like all of them together, the portions that are open to an EMP are the red dots.
Oh,
are
okay.
the actual nodes themselves. These tubes that the nodes are siphoning power through are resistant. I don't want to. I want to save you
I see.
from just completely wasting it. But you would be able to get one arm. Actually, you'd have to even be able to throw it 30 feet. So it goes 30 feet every round is what it was. It just sort of like climbs over everything. It's in an automated trajectory. So it's like you wind it up and you let it go. And so it's like 30 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet.
I guess then, yeah, I'd like it to climb over here so that it gets those two dots.
Okay.
And yeah, can I
What's a
control the
Coloctopus's
arm?
radius?
I wrote down that it's 150.
No, the radius of the EMP. It is certainly not 150.
I don't know. I just wrote down 30 feet and then 150 feet. EMP radius 150 feet.
So go ahead and give me a reflex plus marksmanship. And if you get past a certain point, you'll be able to throw the Coloctopus in between two of the power nodes.
$20.
You throw it a bit too short, and the Coloctopus manages to detonate and just take out this power node as the entire siphoning energy gets eliminated.
Perfect. I was also wondering if is it possible to control the arms or just shut them down?
You just shut that one down, but if you wanted to hack it next time, you would be able to.
Okay.
So, I thought we had like a perfect representation of the Coloctopus around here. Say this is it. Tank, you're up next.
Quick question before I start. The raised platforms, is there... Basically, what I would like to try and do is work with Adelon to grab Sai and maybe toss her into the platform that's raised next to us. Like, you know, thinking that maybe the platform will crush her when it comes down. But if I look at it, would I think that that's possible or not? I just don't know if there's so much there it's like a wall or if there's like some space.
You see that there are 3 main pistons that are under each platform.
Mhm.
That's why you see like 1, 2, 3, and there's many different mechanics inside. Even if you wanted like pieces, spare parts for something, you'd be able to rip them from this. But there would be enough space in between to, like, it would be damaging if it landed on anybody. And one, I want to let you know that you can tinker with these platforms and elevate them or lower them depending on the success of your tinkering. And Netra can also hack every platform if she wants.
Well, okay. Then how about this? I'd like to combine my turn with Adelon to grab her, and because she's made out of metal, I'm going to arc weld her, if I can, depending on the rolls. I want to try and arc weld her arm to one of the moving pistons.
Okay.
And, like, get it, jam her arm all up in the pistons, and then start welding it to the side of the piston.
Okay. So you are going to have to roll higher than size, dex plus brawling.
Might I get an advantage or some kind of bonus because I'm working with Adelon?
If you don't want him to renew your armor this round.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, Adelon! Sorry. Just popped out. Am I adding anything or rolling at advantage?
Just rolling at advantage.
I'll add 5 points of luck. 27.
Okay. With all 4 of her arms, she duels both of you equally on both sides of her. As you both reach for her, she pivots, dances. Rolled a total of a 31. Wow. In terms of physicality, you gather she's out of your league. You are no longer sporting something to support you, and you're the form of an elderly man. Adelon is like early 20s youth.
I just,
Sorry, you up here?
honestly, well, despite the rules, I just thought that Adelon was in basically like a dope Iron Man suit. So I wasn't, for me, it was more like him. I wanted him to like hold her. But that's fine.
Oh, I mean, imagine like Invincible. He's still learning the ropes. Like, he's not proficient by any means. With it, imagine seeing somebody who, like, is not really.
Can we just, next time we do this, can we use his stats? Are they available? It's just that my brawling, it doesn't make sense for me to use my brawling since I don't have brawling, as you said, and I wanted Adelon to hold him down.
Yes, it does make sense next time, but it seemed like you were leading the charge, so yeah, she just holds you guys off. Next up, the drones. Going to take their turn. Netra, you're going to the platform just raises up and crushes the drones underneath. They rolled a 0. That goes lower. Let's just 2. Is that a 2? I can't tell anymore.
I don't think anybody can.
2. This is 0. That goes down. 2. What is a 2? Is this a 2? Does that look more like a 2? I can't fucking tell.
I don't know. I can't even tell on the screen.
I think I did them opposite.
Green X's, red X's.
2.
Can't
This is a
tell.
2 as well.
I got a full screen.
And Netra's,
That
sorry,
is a
not
2.
Netra's, man, Hack Kita's platform lowers, and you actually lose sight of her as her smaller robotic form disappears beneath the platforms.
Sneaky bitch.
Kennedy is going to fire his guns again
It's gonna be like whack.
at
Where's she
Netra,
gonna come up next?
which he's high enough to get you, Netra,
Oh,
and
is he?
Tink. Let's go. We all like these dice, right?
No,
Pack
These
of
die.
cheaters, that's what it is. Pack of
it
cheaters.
is.
5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20. Netra, you take 20 points, which I think is that the first time you're hit or the second?
No, it's not the first time.
20 points of damage, so -1 from your armor, and take the rest off of your health. Tank, the collection of miniguns. The second one aims for you. 6, 10, 14, 19, 23 points of damage to you, -1 from your armor, and I think, what is that, 6 or 7?
5.
5 from health. Okay. And the beam welling up on Kennedy's chest, the power as it's collecting. Just like a, like one of those side-scrolling boss battles. Just goes across the entire chamber.
Just like in those games, I poorly time my jump.
12, 14, 16, 18, 21, 23, 22, 23, 29, 30, 35, 41 points of damage to everyone in the area.
That's bullshit.
Your ghost is destroyed. So minus that from your health and your armor. And
41?
41 points of damage.
Got to bust
I'm
the
down.
calculator out.
Are you down?
I'm down.
Might be down too. Pretty sure I'm down.
Is a 41 straight to health?
41 straight to health. No, sorry, not straight to health. So whatever your
Dude.
armor is, minus that. And then take down your armor by 1.
You know,
And
the
then
same
minus the
system we've
rest.
used from
So what's your armor
beginning.
right now?
17.
So you take...
I'm down. I'm perfectly down.
I'm perfectly down. You take 24 points to your health.
Dead.
My armor will fight them.
I mean, I tried describing the beam around you guys.
I mean, what do you want us to do?
This is your... Wait. Jeez, this is worst. This is... Sai. This is you. Sai also takes the damage, and she is destroyed.
Well, you can
And-
just take my ghost off the map
Yeah.
and tag.
I think you have one more use of your ghost, but that's it. So Tank, you're down. Sai is down. Netra's down. Adelon is
That motherfucker. God damn it.
is doing okay because you were in the way.
Just roll better. Gangbang.
Actually, minus half of that to you. So just do 20 because someone was in front of you.
Everybody's in front of me.
Then minus half of that to you as well. If there's an entity in front of you, minus half.
You're a gracious DM.
I think it's halved for Adelon as well then.
It is. I just calculated that. And also for Sai, But she is down right now. Hakita is up. That was the layer action. And now we are up back to the... as many of the calls are unanswered coming through your comms. We will... we'll still do it. Okay, so back up to the action up top. Top of the bottom of the round, I should say.
Wait, it looks weird now.
Do you want to do... Winslow is in the pilot chair. You guys are still responsible for his actions. What would you like him to do? As the beam is welled to its fullest capacity, but it's also, as it gets stronger and stronger and is welling more and more energy jettisons out of the side and spirals down in this odd arcing beam that just rips down the sides of buildings, and you just hear screaming, and mechanisms get grind to a halt after the energy has spilt.
I think he'd have the best vantage for assessing, I guess, what the biggest target would be. If the ship with the Minister of Death is now...
Mortar code! Mortar code! Friends! Comrades! Astrea, you're up, though.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, since you took half damage, are you up or not?
Yeah, I'm up actually.
Okay. Then Astrea and Netra, you can guide him as he's like looking for advice. Hakita was a friend! To take her out, I got a bead! But the remnants of dust are so close! Who else is in that district, man?
Wings of Liberty is in the district as well.
Wings of Liberty is also in the district.
As in, like, it's gonna fuck them all up around there?
But, I mean, depending on the role.
Can we take Liberty's turn first?
Yeah, you can. Or just going
Get
based
her
off
out
the
of
order that we
there?
were doing before. Yeah.
Like, can she do like a dive off to the other district to the left?
Roll a d10 and add 30. And Hakita is going to do the same. What'd you roll?
37.
The Wings of Liberty's limbs lock up in place as she pivots to turn to leave. And then you hear... And you are a million years too early, as the Wings of Liberty just powers through, reconnects to her own limbs, as Hakita had a temporary empowerment over her, and she manages to make it up the stream. The satellite's beam becomes ready, but won't be ready. But you won't be able to fire because it spent this turn readying it until next round. Put that back up in the sky. Oopsies! Oh!
Can we tell Winslow to take the shot now?
You just hear Aptio, but what about me? You got it, man! Go ahead and roll for Winslow. Add 20. Or it's 20.
Aptio's in that machine.
It'd be 25. Aptio is in the... Aptio is pretty much locked in like a ground battle with Hakita.
35.
I just want to say, you murdered Hakita.
Yeah, okay.
As
You
many
mean
of the
competition.
monitors,
She's
an enemy
many of the
now.
monitors, were, like, she's been taken over.
Like brainwashed. She's still a friend, but
She
As
wasn't
many of the
that
monitors
chill with me to
rock
begin with.
and spark and get destroyed in the room that you're in, that gives you the visual of the battlefield. Although naturally you're the only one with the actual visual inside of your headset, and even your headset is like. As the beam is boring into the ground, a familiar yellow blinding light lances across the landscape of Robo City 16, ripping into buildings as though they are nothing but paper. And you see the quadruped of Aptio, leader of the Remnants of Dust, slowly getting melted and melted and melted. There's no question that Hakita is destroyed. She is vaporized. The Gundam that she's in is nothing but a tiny little husk of residue. As you hear Sai now scream once more into... By the way, you may remember that Sai went into Berserker mode the last time Hakita got taken. Now Hakita is dead. So the mechs on the outside
Can't hack our way out of this one.
all power down.
Yeah. See? It was worth
She was
it.
the one controlling them. And you hear the Wings of Liberty go, "Brilliant move. We will meet up shortly."
It had to happen, honestly. You gotta get rid of the competition.
There's
And
a
now-
new Hakita now.
There's only one
You
hacker.
gotta get rid of the competition.
in
As you
Robo
just see
City 16.
there's
Like-
hacker mom still.
a reflection in
a
Winslow's
now.
good hacker.
in Winslow's own like his own eyes of Netra just smiling as the beam bores into Hakita. By the way, the reason this beam is familiar is because you saw it destroy the top of the spire in the center of the Rad Storm. This is what was responsible for that. Many, many, many hundreds, if not 1,000 plus miles, is how far this thing went. And so a hole, a crater, has been formed right where the Wings of Liberty used to stand. Aptio is unresponsive. But his status is like yellow. It's unclear. He's not fully taken off of the battlefield. So next up, Sai Zhang is unresponsive. Who knows what she's up to? Resistance kids. Gruff answers. Sai just ran out. I don't know where she's going, but nothing is gonna get in her way. What's left for us to do? People are running in the streets. I'm monitoring that. I'm trying to help direct them to the right places of conflict. But I can get into other places. Penta's dead. Let's fucking finish this fight.
I'm not sure where to direct him.
They're like infiltrating kinds of people that you can spend this round getting halfway across the city, I would say. Don't
Okay.
ask me how they get halfway across the city in a matter of seconds. It just happens.
Parkour.
Parkour, exactly.
They know the city really well.
Yes.
Underground parkour.
Yeah, okay. Can
Tip-
they
Tiptoes
somehow
helps them. Helps him.
Can they somehow help Hacker Mom? In some way?
If it gets closer to the city, I might be able to get on top of one of the buildings and hop on.
Hop on The death machine?
Look, I'm the last one out of us. Radcliffe is gone. Penta is gone, and they taught me everything I know. I have to be able to do this.
Okay.
You
do you, Gro.
like a like a Neo second movie blur of force just detonates across the city as this is wrong image. This is Penta. As Gruff. Yeah, you just see he'll be wherever you may need him next round.
Oh, fantastic.
Satellite beam.
Hacker Mom is yeah, he might be able to control the satellite beam as well. Hacker Mom is she goes, they're coming after me. This is going to be a round to see if she can evade the forces of the Minister of Death.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll another d10 and add 25. This will be to see if she can hack the different forces or like the different systems throughout the city to try and divert them.
32.
Okay. Easily enough, she is preserved. You start to see different signs flare to redirect the enemy. Different districts sort of close down with the mechanisms that they have left as they're still on fire. And she successfully manages to throw off her signal as you just see her hiding in like a building, a different building than you first sort of checked in with her at, as she's continuing to be on the move. But you definitely see like fire burning outside of the windows around her. Again, all of this is being projected on the... Oh, I need to go to... On the monitors over here. I forgot I need to use my actual fingers. On the monitors over here, there's a monitor... I think I erased it over here, over there. There's a few monitors around everywhere that you are sort of getting these signs of the battlefield. It will make no difference, Kennedy says as he sees your corpse on the ground, Tank. You will all end up like him. Whatever newcomer managed to emerge in your mortal code. Your weak code. Next up is Sai. She's dead. But another tube raises.
What the fuck?
There's still another tube that's not open as well.
Onto the battlefield.
There's 4 tubes. 3 of them have opened. So
And
one of
she
them's
gives the exact same look in the exact same phrase. This machine kills mortals. And her round is emerging. Hakita is up.
Now she's the real Hakita now because the old Hakita's
No
gone,
way.
I guess.
Well, we'll see how this goes. The headset's dead, everybody. And let's just say that I had many pages of notes for this fight. So,
Do you
43?
want me to get my charger?
nah, that's okay. We've got 15-ish minutes left of this episode, so
You don't have the elite strap?
I mean, just look
let's
at
not get into that.
it. You lose your
Let's
eyeballs.
not go there. Okay, so then Hakita is up, and she is going to... She's going to try and input a virus again. To you, Netra. Go ahead and roll a interface, opposing interface check.
Can I take that?
Jamaican Creole.
It's got to be in the thing.
It's Beltalowda.
You've done
gotta
it
be
once, you can do it
insane.
again.
It fell out!
You're right, it fell out.
Come on, it was meant to be. Do it again! Hold on. Hold on. 25.
Your systems are locked in place as you are spending your entire turn. You guys rolled the same thing. You're spending your entire turn just battling the virus that she's putting inside of your system, and you can see that she is continually updating it and adding more data and information. You're continually striking it out, renewing it, partitioning it, trying to maintain your operating functions. So your next turn will be spent in this struggle with her.
Can I move while this is happening?
No.
Damn it.
You can, but I would say your check would be at disadvantage.
No, it's fine.
Imagine hacking something while running.
No, just like walking backwards.
Walking backwards. I am going to get. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Guys, I've been DMing for 5 years and I still don't know what I'm doing. The entire. God.
Maybe yeah.
How different.
Arn said, imagine taking a dump while running at full speed.
Yeah, I mean exactly.
They've tried that before on TV and it didn't work out so well.
So the beam.
It's very possible. It's just messy.
The beam, as it pounded into the back wall of the chamber that you're in, many different pipes and tubes and metal structures and girders just. So the level just fell onto itself behind you. The beam starts welling once more on the chest. Just so you guys don't get immediately fucked next time, the platforms can act as cover if they're raised.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to back up into a platform.
8 and 6 and second 8 is up. This 2 becomes a 3 as it raises. Becomes a raises also. As these platforms are just raised to their full height.
How many times can Adelon like heal our armor?
Just once. A round. Next up is we did the round. Sai is up. Hakita tried hacking you. Estrella, followed by Nitra.
So there's a beam welling up in the center of his chest.
Yep.
Could I use my Goku blade and run up and almost... I guess it wouldn't extend that far to stab in the chest, would it?
Give me a an intelligence plus perception check.
Intelligence
For
plus
free.
perception.
Yeah.
I don't have perception. Oh, I do have perception.
Kickflip.
Is it perception?
Mm-hmm.
24?
Okay. You see almost like a breaker switch on top of the power node in the center of Kennedy's chest. Oh, also you are down to... You're down to
I don't know, you have
4 seconds
4
until
seconds.
Kennedy... Sorry, 5 seconds until Kennedy comes back online. I thought I was keeping track of this somewhere. Oh, 7 seconds. 5.
So then could I...
And sorry, you see... the reason I had you roll that is because as you're looking at this welling beam on the chest, you see at the very top, like a breaker switch, a lever that is flipped up on Kennedy's just above Kennedy's power node on his chest. A similar lever is located on all of them, but this one seems to never mind. Yeah, it's just there.
We're noticing at all.
Well, I was gonna say like it flipped up after the last beam, but it never powered down, so it's always been up. That's why I got caught in my words. I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
So is there any way I could just... I will... Can I make it to here, I guess? Oh, this is the last platform. There's no platform right here, is there?
There's no platform in there.
I guess I'll just... Oh, look, I'll just go here, I guess. Into this, like, indented area, since this is higher.
So you can double your movement with the flying mechanism, regardless of there being a tract going in the direction of Kennedy.
Then yeah, I guess I'll kind of just try and fly up to him and flip the switch, I guess. I'd be kind of dummy if she'd be able to hit me with that.
That's the chance you'd have to take. Give me a dexterity plus
Yeah, like, I'd like
melee
to, like,
weapon.
fly up there, and I could, when I get close, just like just deactivate his thing and just go into free fall with the knife in my hand, just try and fly. Yeah, so we'll try that. What would that be? What roll would that be? Though?
So, this is you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's not that. Would I be able to just do that and just jab? I don't know what
That's
roll
as
that would be.
far as you would get. And so your action would be pulling this thing down. You are taking the chance of if you fail, the thing will hit you full blast.
Use your luck.
Yeah.
Everything else,
I know.
everything else will take half damage, but you will take full damage if you fail.
Okay.
Give me as you pull, you grab the handles of your flight pack, pull them down. The almost like seat manifests from the backpack, pulls you up in the air as your solar robes flare out like Tyrael wings, and you press forward, zooming up and over the track, pulling everything closer towards Kennedy, and you manage to reach both arms onto it. Go ahead and give me a dexterity plus either athletics or melee weapon to see if you can pull this thing down before it goes off.
Melee weapon. I'm going to using 15 points of luck before I even try this.
15 points of luck.
So that is a 35.
Okay. You manage to put both feet on either side of the welling beam. You feel the heat underneath you. You feel the vibration as you press your feet on the metal structure of Kennedy's torso. As your entire body is rocking.
Vegeta, more power!
Yeah. A nomad's pride! As you slam it down. And the orb in its center, the power node, spills out all of its energy as you see it almost pulse back into the power nodes as they flare into life. The layer action, quote unquote, of Kennedy, you have
Don't pick me up.
neutralized.
Now you can just throw me.
Next up
he can eat me.
is Netra.
Is that platform a 0? To the... There's like a 3. No, it's like 0, 0.
The platform right behind you to the right is a 0. Oh, sorry. This is Adelon. This is you, I think.
Oh, okay.
Adelon is closer to that, but you would be able to 1, 2, 3. Yeah. There's a platform where you could get to that is a 0.
And are the platforms going to move again before my next turn?
Always.
I'm gonna get on the number 3 platform to my left.
Remember, you can hack platforms, but you're using one of you're effectively using your action to do so.
No, that's fine.
Turn into a springboard.
Okay. 6 and 7.
Also, those tube that tube area, that doesn't move up and down. So there's a chance that your platform that you're running to will go up.
But it's already on number 3. So the next one, it should be 0, right? It goes 0, and then 2, 3. Right?
I think it
Or no.
randomly goes up and down.
Yeah.
It randomly goes up and
Yeah.
down?
It'd be very obvious from this point that you just hear it seems to be randomly pumping in different whatever they do in this chamber.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The only area where it's not random is for the tubes.
The only way to manipulate them is either hacking into their electrical mechanisms or tinkering into their mechanical mechanisms.
And can I hide in a tube?
If you a tube like that they emerge from, that Sai and Hakita emerge
I
from.
don't know those 2 tubes
nap
right
time.
there. Can I hide in a tube?
I would say you can hack a tube. So right now,
His laser
it's
beam's
like
gone.
imagine like
laser beam's gone.
Hakita emerged, and so the base of the tube is up. You'd have to hack it and make it go down.
I see.
Are you trying to hide from the laser beam? Or?
Yeah, so you also saw Estrella, like as you felt the heat in the room get hotter and hotter and hotter as a beam is welling up again. Estrella just zoomed past you, jumped on the switch and flipped it down.
And it can't turn back on? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I'm still there.
Oh.
So.
That might be a reasonable assumption, but
Okay, I'll do first aid on, Tink.
okay.
Hey.
I
What a
learned
move.
from the best.
Definitely got advantage then.
Yeah. Because I'm helping my teammate.
Okay.
Wait, really?
You
Do
can do
it.
first aid, yeah, but remember
Oh.
for every
I
for
was
every
talking about
10
advantage, and then you're like,
No.
okay.
Why?
I gave you my reason.
Why would Netra
'Cause I'm-
ever have
I'm
advantage?
helping my
Other than
teammate.
other than like accessing WebMD, and then you'll probably assess him for the wrong thing.
Well, no, because
He's got everything.
because she's been training in first aid with me.
Okay, so training doesn't make you proficient in it when you start from negative to nothing.
Well, I got a 17.
Okay, so you
Boom.
can have 1d6.
Yay!
Health?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, it was 7. I'm sorry, 2d6 you can have for help.
Do these two. And say please.
On cure fake cancer. Yes.
Please.
I made up this thing that I have.
Okay.
It's
And now
because
you
you
can make up
half-assed
the-
that please.
I didn't.
If you meant it, you'd get 2 6s instead of 1 6.
I got 8 total health back.
So you can make up the treatment. Okay, so that's your. Are you moving anywhere?
Pour some
Yeah.
kaiju soda in his mouth.
I'll just.
This is good. You're back.
If I move to the 0 platform, does that give me access to underneath the conveyor belt? Or no?
Oh, yes.
I will do that.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go underground.
Bye.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's double movement. So what's your movement total?
10.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay. You are considered covered from Shat.
Nice.
Why is it always 6? That was pathetic. Okay.
What's happening?
He's good at coin tricks. So he can make it land on whatever he wants. Wherever he wants.
Happening.
Imagine that these are constantly going up and down. Okay. Next up is Tank and Adelon.
Netra! I knew you cared.
I'm peeking from behind the conveyor belt.
what's his name? Vitolith!
Chief, is he for this?
Get on me.
You act like this is atypical. This is just a day in the life of the Mortal Code. You go out and get yourself fucked up, and I come in and unfuck you up while fucking you
Oh,
up
boy.
at the same time. What?
Mm.
So,
Yum.
so 20 points, and he goes, I don't have much left.
A lot of sealant you just put on him.
My paper cannot take much more. There's a eraser hole being bored through it.
HentaiHeels.com.
Hentai heels?
You feel your holes being a little
That's-
bit more taken advantage of than they should
That's
be.
the company that made Vitolith.
At the as like you're also mostly burned from the beam. Vitolith has this new addition that's just like
No.
as you see these little
Nope.
slow-moving streaks just plop over your face,
Oh, fantastic.
mostly your face and your shoulders.
Takes his arm out.
Very clear
Rubs
and
it
most
in.
like mostly opaque substance just lands and sort of like thick globules cover your in globs.
Tank's a
I just
lucky
picture him
dude.
like with these weird
Wow.
robotic
But
little,
it's
like,
it
claptrap
feels
hands.
good. It feels really good. It feels invigorating.
Tank normally has to pay for that.
Now's not the time. Messing around. I'm gonna slap him away from me. We're done. And I'm gonna run away to the tubes with my
To the tubes.
to the tubes. I'm gonna load up the breaker, or sorry, the what was it? The caster with a well, we'll make it 3 grenades,
Okay, that'll be a
And-
bonus action to load it with different ammo.
and I'm gonna shoot 1 grenade at the was a power node that is closest to the tubes,
Okay.
and I think that's all I can do.
Okay. Go for it. Roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3, so it's around 3. Yeah, go ahead and roll dexterity plus marksmanship. Sorry, reflex plus marksmanship plus 1d10.
$20.
Okay, you're just able to get it. As thump, thump, thump. Go ahead and roll damage. So how Netra got rid of the other one was through an EMP round, which bypassed any armor plating that was there. But you do see thick metal bands that are wrapped around the exterior.
20.
Okay. The second one, the second power node out of 5 goes down.
Third.
Second.
Third.
Lowest one. And
Didn't Estrella take one down on his chest?
Oh, third, yes. Actually, thank you, third. Third, and you hear Adina go, I can... You see her face sort of like splay across the screen as there's some of her eyes sort of like... They don't open, but you see this like... like almost like she's regaining herself, like she's rediscovering who she was.
She's in college.
I can see them. So many. Throughout the city. I can feel them. No. Stop! As you see the monitors show scenes of the city streets of the humans. Almost like stop in their pursuit, stop in their aggression. And you see the robos as one has a human in their hand and a baton about to just smack their face off of them. Their baton hangs. Their red irises, the apertures go from red to light pink to white to blue. And he sets the human down. In this sort of, there's like a standstill throughout the city. No, you will do what you are supposed to. And you see Adina's face get pulled back, tightened, viced in even more, as the power nodes renew their efforts to pump energy back into Kennedy and regain control. Adina reassumes the form of a captured, dormant, controlled little girl in between the grates of Kennedy's teeth. That was the drones are going to go. Oh, the drones were destroyed. Kennedy's going to use his turn to just send more drones out. His reaction right up there. They don't have their turn yet.
He's abusing his power.
Give me a dexterity plus athletics check. It's not going to be melee weapon because you don't have necessarily control over this. You're trying to get control of it. As you feel the energy go back into a central node, as just like a breaker, the control, the lever, tries to flip back on. In mid-flip, you grab it, push both of your heels against it, and try and pull it down again.
So that is a... I'm at 1 point of luck, make it a 20.
You hold it still. You grab it and you hold it still, but you will have to spend your entire turn here next round trying to slam it down again. And that is where... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kennedy has his turn outside of the layer action. The large mechanical head of Kennedy that you've seen postered on every poster and building statues throughout Robo City 16 looks down at you. And you see the miniguns.
You gonna shoot your own legs? Really?
You are right there. Ugh, I shouldn't have re-rolled that. 24 already. 28, 31. For the first one.
That doesn't really matter then. I mean,
30, 33, 36, 37. Wow, that was a much worse one. 39, 43 total points of damage as the two miniguns point blank just rip into you. Your solar ropes.
is that with through the armor and everything? Or?
No, sorry. 41, what's your armor? It's 16?
16? Yeah.
So minus 16, 50, 41, 30, 25 points of damage. I think. No. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, 25 points of damage. To your main health. How are you doing?
I'm seriously wounded now.
But you're not down?
No.
Okay. With as you spit blood splattering across his powering on power node in his central chest, you feel the heat well again, and with everything you have, you're just holding the bar in place, the lever. And
Oh wait, can I just take my Goku blade out and shove it in between the lever and his body and just extend it so you can't lift it?
Let's just say if you have a feeling if you let up at all, it's going to flip back on, and you'll have to re-roll the roll.
Okay, I'll
It's up to you.
I'll just hold it. I'll just hold it. Whatever.
Does his blood gunk the system?
No, it just like dulls the light a little bit, but it doesn't gunk the system. It just also highlights that holy fuck, Estrella could be dead very soon. If this beam releases, that's it for Estrella, folks.
Lilith!
Get over there.
And that's where we'll pick up next time on Sassafras.
But what about Adelon's turn?
at the top of the round?
I don't think he went this time.
Remember, he's assisting you the whole time. So,
Pumping
You're-
stuff into your armor.
yeah, I'll say that he'll use this chance to pump in your armor. And he's also a lot less mobile without the pack on him.
Okay.
So just put your armor back up to 20. Unless you want him to do something else.
From the tubes, can he shoot the other power node? Like if he followed me over there, can he see and engage the node?
The higher one?
Yeah. I know he said it was further away, so I just don't know. Depth and distance wise, it's doable.
So instead of taking armor, you would prefer this. Okay, he'll roll to see. You've always been red, Adelon. Hits
Yeah.
It's right as rain.
with the 3. No, well, fuck it. He's gonna throw his spear because he only has the caster, which is set with cryo rounds. It's up to you. Do you want the spear or the cryo rounds? The cryo rounds will mean no armor for the node.
The spear goes straight through armor.
But he will no longer have an epic spear.
That's what epic spears are for.
Okay. 9, 11, 14, 15, 17, 18. This spear flies into the node, bypasses the armor and sparks, but you still see this slight bit of... You got 20 damage. He got 18. We'll just say that. And... Spear entered in. As the fight rages on outside in the city, we will pick up here next time on Sassapunks. I am fairly, mostly confident that next week, if all things go in order, we had some technical difficulties this time, it could be the finale. Thank you guys for spending your valuable evenings with us. We always appreciate, love, and enjoy your time and attention. And remember to... I mean, it doesn't make as much sense now since this is the finale, but yeah, let everybody know that the finale of Sassapunks is about to happen next week, and they have a week to catch up. Send them to just tell them to watch the first 10 minutes of every episode, and they'll get the recap, the fully amazing recap that I provide every time. All right, complete the story, and let's finish this shit. I'm pretty sure the Mortal Code is going to die. And the city is going to be taken over by robos, which is the way it should be. That's what I'm rooting for. Let us know what you guys are rooting for. I also just Putin, so
Oh my
Flying
god.
spaghetti
I think we
monster.
should milk
We
this
gotta
for as
end
long as
it.
possible.
We gotta go.
We gotta get outta here.
Always until fate.
Next brings us together.
Next
And
brings
never
us-
stop
Never
playing
stop
role-playing
giving.